Hi, I'm Scott. You're watching Tanner Travels, and this is Morocco is a North African country of 37 million people, renowned for its rich culture and use of spices. Originally populated by the Berbers, it was incorporated into the Muslim Empire in the 7th century, who continued north into Europe and ruled over much of Spain for 700 years. European Christians eventually expelled the Moors and, after several centuries of Europeans raiding and colonising her coast, Morocco became a French and Spanish protectorate in 1912. It wasn't until 1956 that Morocco gained its independence. We were looking forward to our stay in the coastal resort of Agadir when we started noticing worrying reviews of our hotel flooding TripAdvisor.
Horrific experience. Hotel is old, tired, desperately in need of renovating/bulldozing. Food is awful.
Rooms have bed mites. My nieces were covered with bites.
There are health and safety issues with cross-contamination at the buffet restaurant with no labeling. The chef advised pistachio ice cream was mint.
We unfortunately caught a sickness bug and ended up with a dodgy stomach. This meant I was in bed for 2 days.
With it being too late to move hotel, we had no choice but to go and see for ourselves.
We were relieved to find that the Rui Tequila Palace Hotel had excellent public spaces, spacious rooms and good food. The hotel also boasts 3 a la carte restaurants, and we were able to try out 2 of them during our stay. Cristal, serving French cuisine, and Moroccan, serving local Moroccan.
So Gaby, where are we?
We are on a cable car, which is juddering as I speak, on the way to the top of that mountain.
And it's a little bit hazy, as it has been every morning. We wake up and it's hazy, and then throughout the morning the haze burns off, and hopefully by the time we get to the top we'll have a good view of the rest of Agadir.
Well, the sun is already coming out.
Yep.
And we somehow managed to get a private car for the price for normal
Yes, because no one else is stupid enough to go up a mountain when it's foggy.
That's true.
But there's method in our madness, because look, long shadows on the ground. The sun is already coming out. So hopefully by the time we get to the top, we'll have a nice view of Agadir, and not just this. 236 metres above present-day Agadir sits the peaceful remains of the walled fortress or Kasbah of Agadir. Founded in the 1500s, the Kasbah was built to repel Portuguese and Dutch invasion. On the 29th of February 1960, a powerful 5.8 strength earthquake struck the town, killing 15,000 people and destroying up to 70% of the city's buildings. Our guide, Habib, described the destruction vividly.
By right you see the wall. You see the wall, all that place where it's gone, cable car gone, it's a cemetery.
That's the cemetery.
That's why putting that wall for protection, people killed.
He then snuck us into an off-limits section to show us a fissure that opened up in the landscape during the earthquake, which is still visible to this day. Islamic law dictates a mourning period of 60 years between a tragedy like this and reconstruction, so it's only been since 2020 that restoration work on the Kasbah has been allowed. Suddenly the building work made a lot more sense.
Most of modern Agadir has sprung up since 1960, but it is still possible to get a sense of what the old city would have looked like by visiting the Nouvelle Medina Polizzi, a faithful recreation of an old Moroccan Medina, built in the early 1990s by Moroccan-Italian architect Coco Polizzi. Despite feeling a bit like a film set, the Medina has several craft workshops, a cafe, and plenty of photogenic angles. He's so little.
We were up before dawn on day 5 to embark on a day trip to Marrakech, the cultural centre of Morocco. But it wasn't long before we pulled over to meet some of Morocco's most famous inhabitants. Morocco's famous flying goats are renowned for climbing argan trees to reach the soft fruit that grow on higher branches. The nuts contained within these fruits are the source of argan oil, a luxury oil used extensively in Moroccan cuisine and by the cosmetics industry. The argan tree itself is only found here in Morocco.
It took over 3 hours to travel the 150 miles from Agadir to Marrakech, but at least the scenery was spectacular. Arriving shortly before midday, our drop-off point was the Pottery Mosque, the largest mosque in Marrakech. Originally founded in 1147, the entire mosque was rebuilt just 11 years later to better align with Mecca. Like all mosques in Morocco, non-Muslims are not allowed to enter.
We were then taken on a walking tour of Marrakech's bustling Medina and advised not to stop for fear of being accosted. As we made our way through the dense maze of vendors, cafes and riads, we simply tried to take in as much of the chaotic mix of colours, smells and noises as we could.
Actually enough garlic for once.
Respite came at a local pharmacy, where the group was treated to demonstrations of all the spices and oils Morocco is famous for.
It's too strong for the fish, and we have another mixture for fish. No teaspoon, you marinate or you spring when you cook. Each flower gives only 3 pistils, 3 strands. 140,000 flowers gives 1 kilo of saffron. Look here, you get some, and you crush it like this. Now it turns yellow. Rice, as you know, paella, risotto, fish, cakes, dessert, ice cream, everything. Okay, black seeds. This looks like a kalonji, but it's not the same like kalonji. It's not the first time.
This is supposed to heal sinus problems.
You know mix?
A rooftop lunch gave us a much-needed opportunity to escape the chaos of the streets below. Gaby and I had beef tangier, that spiced beef that's been slow cooked for 5 hours in ceramic pots in special underground ovens.
That's delicious. We were also given free time to explore and chose to spend this checking out the nearby Bahia Palace. Built in the late 19th century, it was the home of several rulers of Morocco during the late 19th and early 20th century. It's constructed in the classic Riad style, a traditional Moroccan style of building construction where all the rooms face inwards towards a central courtyard or garden. The elaborate ceramics and stained glass windows were pretty, but there wasn't a lot of information on who actually lived there, and no period furniture at all. It did have a cute cat though. There was just enough time for a quick drink at a rooftop cafe before rejoining our group and beginning the long drive home. It's going to be the ecstasy of whatever it is this time.
Is it good?
Yeah.
One of the more unusual excursions offered from Agadir is sandboarding. Sadly, this doesn't take place in the actual desert, but on some large sand dunes north of Agadir, near the town of Tamri. During our drive up the coast road, our guide Mohammed explained points of interest. Our half-day tour included a traditional Moroccan lunch of tagine, which, coincidentally, was prepared by Mohammed's auntie and served at her house. Nothing like breaking bread with the locals.
Yeah, and you push, like if you want potato, you push for potato, you want a carrot, push a carrot. 5 fingers like that.
Okay.
So Gabby, thoughts on the tagine?
That is all.
Unintelligible noises. This is a chicken tagine. It has a lemon in the centre of it, and it's got carrots and olives and potato and onion, and it's lovely. Also, we have the Moroccan mint tea. It's very nice, and this is coming from someone who doesn't like tea. And we also have some bananas. These are a specialty of this area. They grow particularly small bananas in this region, and as we drove in, there were literally banana plants everywhere. More banana plants than I've ever seen. After a delicious lunch, we journeyed on to the Timlalin dunes, armed with our snowboards, starting out on the small dunes before tackling the bigger slopes. It's a popular spot for thrill seekers on 2 legs, 4 legs, and sometimes no legs at all. Nice! So Gabby, where are we?
I don't know.
But what are we doing?
Sandboarding.
Okay.
Well, you were sandboarding. I'm sand sitting.
Well, you still went down on a board.
3 times? 4 times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, great day. And the meal early was amazing. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun, but it's blisteringly hot. And it's not really the coming down that's the problem, it's the coming back up. It's an absolute slog to get up these massive dunes. So yeah, I'm literally covered in sand from head to toe. So I think a nice shower is in order when I get back. Back in Tamri, Mohammed dropped off his snowboards whilst we met some of the locals.
God, look behind you. Goats.
Suddenly goats.
Suddenly goats.
We then gave Mohammed's aunt, the one who cooked us the tagine, a lift back to Agadir, which was fun.
The next day, still somewhat sore from the dunes, we embarked on our final excursion, this time to a famed local beauty spot called Legzira. But we didn't go straight there. Our first stop was to a local pottery factory.
Gaby is slightly obsessed by the tiny tagines that you can get here.
They're cute, okay? They're cute. Next up, a photo stop at the picturesque fishing village of Tifnit, famed for its use of small Never mind. Next we visited an argan oil factory. Traditionally, argan oil was only produced by women's cooperatives. The labour-intensive process starts with breaking into the argan nuts by hand. The oil-rich kernels are slow roasted and then ground in traditional stone hand mills like this. 4 kilos of kernels produces just 2 litres of oil and takes 3 full days to produce. So it's little wonder that argan oil is an expensive commodity.
What does it taste like?
Nuts.
We journeyed on, passing into an area officially designated the start of the Sahara, although by the time we stopped for our next photo op at the seaside village of Aglou Beach, it didn't exactly feel much like a desert. So this is the resort of Aglou Beach, which has been added to our itinerary as a little stop, but unfortunately, although you can see the beach, you can't really see much else because of the fog. So that's a bit of a shame. This is caused by the cool air coming in off the Atlantic, mixing with the hot air of the Sahara and generating an awful lot of fog and low-lying cloud. So not much you can do about that, that's just the climate of this place. But we'll try and make the best of it. And it's still interesting to see a new place.
Can you say how long we get here?
Just a couple of minutes, just take some pictures.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This isn't it. This isn't Legzira.
Oh, it's not?
No, this is meal lift.
As we made our way along the coast, the weather just refused to improve. Spots of rain heralded our arrival at Legzira itself, but once again, it was time for another taste of tagine and some hungry guests.
Bit too chilly. Voted the 29th best beach in the world by the Huffington Post, the weather didn't make Legzira Beach or its imposing red cliffs and arches any less spectacular. You join me here in Legzira, here in Morocco, and I have been joined by a friend. Look at the friend. I don't quite know why he chose my sunbed to sleep under, but that's fine. Just as the weather started to improve, we had to leave Legzira behind. We had one final stop on our tour of southern Morocco, the city of Tiznit. Tiznit is a classic old Moroccan city. Some of its walls and buildings date back to the 14th century, but its real claim to fame comes from its long history crafting silver jewellery and ornaments, the silver coming from mines in the nearby mountains. To this day, Tiznit is known as the Silver City, and we got a chance to browse the ornate trinkets for sale and see how they're made.
Filigree, we use much filament of silver, and that every tank is by hand. Yes, that is a build. It takes about 2 months for making that. Hard locking. And after that, we fix it with a fire and solder, and we turn it. It comes like this, already finished like this. But every tank by hand. Can have a look in to see. Different size. Yes.
We spent our final few days relaxing and trying out some of the lesser appreciated local cuisine. So Scott has dragged me into KFC so he could have it on his fourth continent.
Oh, it has bacon in it. Is it spicy? Mm-hmm. But it's good.
We also visited Agadir's Marina district on our penultimate night.
Oh no, Gaby will never leave this place now she knows that the kittens are here.
All too soon, it was time to leave Morocco.
Where are we? We're on the tarmac at Agadir Airport, stood in the rain waiting for our plane to go home. Yeah, I don't know why they brought us out here to stand in the rain. I guess it's to sort of get us in the mood for England, get us in the homecoming spirit, and it's working. Few countries have as unique an identity as Morocco. With its heady mix of colour, culture and cuisine, Morocco really does offer something for everyone. Despite TripAdvisor's warnings about our hotel, we'd had a great stay, only slightly marred by the dodgy stomach that, let's face it, almost everyone gets when they visit North Africa. This was our first time visiting Morocco, so we could only ever hope to get a taste of what it has to offer. But after this trip, we'd definitely visit again and explore more. But what about you? Have I convinced you to come to Morocco? What should we do in Marrakech the next time we visit? Let me know in the comments and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss my next adventure. Thanks for watching.